I am beside myself with delight to be welcoming Mr. and Mrs. Firevolt to the Wigwam Jam podcast for an extra special edition to preview what will be Firevolt 2025. Welcome, Bev and Stret.
Cheers, thanks for having us.
Thanks, mate. Awesome. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and thanks for inviting us.
No, I tell you what, it's a lovely sunny day. We're here outside a brewery, enjoying the summer, enjoying some great beer, and my two favourite festival owners are here.
Brilliant. Cheers,
so welcome to Wrexham, to coin a phrase. So we're looking forward to Firevolt 2025. Radio Wigwam, obviously your official radio partner. We're delighted to be there again. But we want to spend today giving everybody a flavour of what's to come in 2025, but also find out a bit about Bev and Stret. So I'm going to start with you, Bev. How did you convince him to start Firevolt in the first place?
He'd had beer, so it was really easy.
You wailed him up.
Yeah. So we were at our friend's farm, White Bottom Farm, the stunning White Bottom Farm in Stockport, in Evero Country Park. An amazing place, and they own some festivals there themselves. So it was just a day that we were enjoying at the festival, and the owner, Carl, just came over and said, "You guys should start a rock festival." And we went, "Yeah, okay."
How many had you had at this point?
Quite a few, I reckon. Quite a few. But we just thought, yeah. And
so did you guys have any experience in hosting rock events?
Not so much rock events, but I've got a background in event management, so I've done a lot of stuff around Europe. I've built stages in Monaco. I've taken bands on tour. In a previous life, I used to work in football, so we did football tours and things like that. Actually, what actually happened with Carl, who owned the farm, at that time, around about 2010, we had a recording studio in Alderley Edge, and Carl was starting a new festival on his land called Blackthorn. I think it was around about 2011. He knocked on the door and was asking for some bands for this new festival called Blackthorn, of which me and Bev ended up going every year that it was on. And yeah, we introduced Carl and Laura to some bands, and they put them on at Blackthorn. And he did keep nibbling at about, this rock festival idea, but it was Bev who pushed it over the line, really, because she convinced me that it's now or never, really.
Yeah, just that if we don't do it, there's the opportunity in front of you. I'm a great believer in fate. Opportunities, maybe laid in front of you, but it's what you do with it. So I said, would we regret it if we didn't do it? And now here we are. But I think it's been quite a journey.
That was when?
That was probably 21. Yeah, summer 21.
So just after, the main COVID outbreak. So early days.
And obviously it was a weird time to do it. It was a weird time to agree to it.
It's a big risk.
It was a massive.
Nobody knew what the future would be like in those.
The only thing we really had at that time was probably my experience in event management and our passion for rock. And I do believe passion can take you a long way. I mean, it does help you when you're down and you've got to, go again and all that, and times are hard. And then you remember seeing UFO or Deep Purple or Gillan or Green Day back in the day, and that passion and the people within the community. But yeah, Carl, we kind of did the deal with Carl around about 21. There was a contract that needed signing, and we signed it, I think, around about September. But then, unfortunately, I got quite ill in October. And I think it was a bit of COVID, wasn't it? Long-term COVID. And I didn't recover till round about February, March, something like that. I think it was February, the year afterwards. And I was very lucky in the universe. I own a company called the Purple Universe. But I was very lucky in the universe. Sent me a guy called Roy Davis. Roy Davis was in a band called Shy back in the day. What a beautiful soul he is. And Jackie, his missus, as well. They own Asylum in Birmingham. I got on immediately with Roy. I saw his hair before I saw him. He's got an amazing bonnet. And we met at a service station halfway. He's in Birmingham, I'm in Manchester. And we met halfway and we were going through bands, and I said, "Will you do it with me?" He said, "When is it?" I went, "In August." He went, "Jesus Christ." So it was a bit of an order. But from that meeting, 6 weeks later, me and Bev had organised the festival, and me and Roy had organised the lineup, and we wrote down together a list. I knew a few people, he knew a few people. He used to manage Those Damn Crows, so he put them on his piece of paper. I knew Toby Jepson, so the Wayward Sons come in. I knew Darren Wharton, so Dare were coming in. And there was a few.
So you
bands.
weren't just rock fans.
Yeah,
that
we knew a few
helps,
people.
And the passion will carry you along the way and make you want to do it. I know as a radio station, you want people to like the music you like. You want to spread the word as much. But you, as you say, you obviously knew some people anyway to get it moving.
It helped, didn't it? It helped definitely. And like Stret said, we're rock fans anyway, and have been all our lives, and we met through music. So it kind of sort of fell into place, really.
Yeah, we met because I was managing a band called Purge.
Sorry, can I just stop you right here, because what Stret's about to tell you won't be the correct version.
Oh, right.
But
okay,
I'll correct him shortly.
All right.
Yeah. So this is how it happened, people. So I'm managing a band called Purge. Fantastic guys. Lead singer was the new Jim Morrison. I thought we had something. They thought they had something. And Bev was at every single gig. Now, the band noticed that she was at every single gig, and I think she was actually stalking me.
Not
true.
You,
okay.
Yeah, not the band. Not the band. It was all about me.
No, the truth is, my son's best mate's the drummer. And so at the time, Josh wasn't driving, they were only young, and he'd say, "Oh, Mum, come on, can you drop me off?" And then he'd go, "You might as well stay, because they're only on for half an hour, and you could bring me home." So that's how it happened to be there. So all the parents ended up being mates. So we were then arranging to go and watch the band, because they were great. And then Stret obviously started managing them. And he was at every gig that I was at. And then he come to me and said, "You're gorgeous, we should go on a date. I'll put you on a guest list." And now here we are, married.
I must admit, I love you, Bev. I believe Stret. No, so that's how the journey started then. And obviously
absolutely.
2021, so you kicked it off, and 2022 was the first Firevolt festival. So how did you decide who was going to play? How did you decide who was going to play?
Well,
you like Deep Purple.
Yeah.
You still haven't put them on.
No,
You're running out of time, by the way.
Yeah, no, I think we thought it'd be a 27-30 band lineup. And between me and Roy, we had more than 30 bands on the list, the wish list. And we said, well, let's start at the top. You start at Those Damn Crows. I'll start with...
Who were incidentally number one in the charts.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah,
me.
well done, lads,
Guys have
well
done
done.
fantastic. Lovely
Proud
guys.
of you.
Absolutely lovely guys. I mean, absolutely fantastic guys. So, yeah, Roy reached out there, and the guys, did it for Roy, I think, as much as anything. It was a new festival. And we went, and to be honest, there was only 2 bands who I can actually say now we were on that list who either couldn't play because they were already busy, or they wanted to wait to see how it worked. And they performed the year after, which was Massive Wagons and Chris Barris. But everyone said yes, right the way through the lineup. And before we knew it, we had 30 bands.
Fantastic. So how'd you go about, you've got a history of event management. You're obviously mad keen on rock, and you've got the perfect venue in Ethro Park. How'd you put it together? It sounds easy.
It's definitely not easy. It's every day,
I wish.
Well, all you
every
have to do is
single
buy
day
some
we work on
toilets
it.
and,
Yeah, toilets, softest toilet roll of any festival anywhere.
Is that true?
But apparently so, yeah. This is what our gang say, our Firevolt family. It does take a lot of work, and I think at the time we didn't realise how much work it would be.
With all the greatest respect, it can't be just the two of you doing it.
There is a team. I mean, sometimes we borrow a team from the Purple Universe, which is an event management company. But to be quite honest, the festival is a startup festival. It's not broke even yet. It's hard. So me and Bev take everything. We take everything on. We take as much on. We're doing the accounts. We're booking the artists. We're doing the Facebook. We do everything for Firevolt.
I think we've had to learn so much, and that was the part that I think we didn't fully realise. I mean, my background is like media makeup, writing standards for the government, films, TV, music videos, that kind of thing. So I already was okay with like graphic design a little bit to some extent, but it's amazing what we've had to learn since that you would just never believe, the sorts of things.
Go on then. Hit me with an example.
I mean,
what are the funniest or strangest things that... or even the most boring things that you would never recognise that as...
I think. I mean, most people in event management will know about, health and safety. Health and safety, it is a thing, and it's not there to be ignored. If you're putting this show on, as we do, the people who come on site, it's our responsibility. So we take it very serious. But it's a minefield, and it's a lot of work. And you're dealing with councils who've got lots of people on their side, and you're dealing with it. So you can get really into the trenches on things like that. But then you can have fun things where we quite often have what we call enrichment meetings, and enrichment meetings include opening a bottle of red or gin
and coming up with mad ideas
and coming up with mad ideas.
I think
so Bev
the
come
creative
up,
juices going.
For South of Salem last time they played there, Bev come up with let's buy these eyeballs and throw out
giant
these inflatable eyeballs.
Light up. That was my
touch?
idea, yes. So I found these eyeballs, and it had to be right on cue towards the outro of the song. And we were bouncing these eyeballs around in jet black eyes. See me thread there where we're going. And
I
it just
assumed
worked well.
it was their doing.
Yeah, no,
So
it was our doing. And I think that's the thing. We really pay attention to detail, don't we? We really think hard about what we do, and we want it to be different. We want it to be a bit nostalgic. We want it to be fun, and like I say, with the site, it's just so. It's hard to get over, isn't it? How stunning it is. You've been. Yeah. You can see what it's like. It's amazing. Who has a waterfall for an entrance?
Let's talk about that a little bit there, because with Firevolt, there's lots of rock festivals around, and you market yourselves as being the friendliest.
Yeah.
I've been to many rock festivals, and it was a manageable size. It's got 2 stages. We'll talk about the 3rd stage in a minute, but you've got 2 stages with fantastic acts, no overlap whatsoever. Great food, as you say, comfortable toilets, which is very important to the
showers.
Proper loos, guys, proper loos with proper showers that are fixed on site all the time.
So, these are key differentiators for anyone who's never been to Firevolt, but, from your own experiences of different festivals, what did you want Firevolt to be?
Well, I think because we'd been up to the site, we'd been year in, year out to support Carl and the gang there at their festivals, and we met some of our best friends there, Sue and Nige. So, we went year on year because it was a beautiful place to be, and it had a nice feel about the place. For me, it's like a film set. So just at twilight, if you just look up around the tree line, it's a bowl actually where it is. It's got its own microclimate, and it is absolutely spiritual. It's phenomenal. And I think last year there were some people who'd been for the first time, and the lady said to me on the way out, Bev, when you were putting all these videos on and showing all these examples and these pictures of this beautiful site, I said to my mum, there is no festival site that will be that beautiful. There is just no way. And she said, when we walked in, we were astounded. We have a waterfall at the entrance.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
It's phenomenal, isn't it?
No, it is beautiful.
Yeah, I think for me, there's genuinely lots of things to be proud of with Firevolt, because it is really hard work. It is unbelievably hard work. Bev's getting up at 5:30 to go and to be a lecturer, coming home 6, half 6, having a bit of tea, then does Firevolt. I work on Firevolt all day and the other job as well. It really is a slog. But the proud moment for me is the community. It is the community.
I was just about to say exactly that.
100% it is, because, we were in the rock world. Back in the day, I went to Jilly's. I don't think Bev was old enough. But,
I did go to Jilly's. I went to the Banshee as well.
You went to the Banshee,
yeah, in Grand Central.
So we've both been round rockers, and we've both been round that, society, how they look at rockers, knowing it not to be true. Bikers as well. Growing up, I had mates with bikes, and we went to biker clubs, and fantastic community. And I think the pride for me is being Mr. and Mrs. Firevolt, because it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of, you don't want to let those people down, and you're forever looking at, well, how do we communicate with them? How do we talk with them? What can we do for them? And then you go, right, what's the band's doing? Have we booked the security? As you know what I mean?
I think you're, going back to the message of community, I think you're absolutely spot on, and the fact that you are, a husband and wife. The key things there, it's the same for us, and why, you're such a good fit to be our partners, is that we always communicate the importance of the community, and us as the grassroots music,
100%,
and yourself as the rock community.
Yeah.
And when we were at Firevolt 2024. Everyone is a family.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that before at a festival.
Yeah.
Not to that extent. And with you guys, you've personified
Yeah.
the family because you
Yeah.
are.
I think
a
we've
couple.
given the ingredients.
Yeah.
We've given the ingredients because we've set something up in a beautiful place. So that's the plate, if you like. You know, it's a beautiful place. And then we've put, you know, the meat and two veg on with the bands and nice toilets and showers and all that. And then, you know, the sprinkling is the community. They come in, you know, we did a solo meetup last year and people meet other people. We have meetups now where we'll go to a gig and people are coming with people they met at Firevolt they never knew before Firevolt.
Yeah,
and they're like
absolutely.
best friends.
Yeah.
You know, acts and that. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and I think
unbelievable.
the volunteers, we are absolutely like, we have to get this message over that the volunteers are, we can't do it without
Of
them.
course
The
not,
the heart of Firevolt.
It's a whole army of volunteers.
Yeah, but
Massive.
they have to be the right people because they have to have that ethos. They have to think the same. We are fiercely protective of our community that now calls themselves the Firevolt family, but that's what it's like. It's like you put a gig on for a load of your mates.
No,
and they
exactly.
come. They're so caring.
I think it's worth saying that for new people that come to Firevolt, they will be welcomed into the family.
100%,
It's not,
100%.
oh, look at them strangers.
Everyone-
It's,
No,
you know,
not at all.
That's the thing we do. So once you're in the Firevolt family, you know, they always go in the pre-sale. They always get an opportunity to try and buy a camper van pitch. We don't keep it to, because you came every year since 2022. Obviously, those guys are included too. But once you're in, you get the discounts. You're invited to the Christmas event. You are Firevolt. You know, we communicate with you the same as we communicate with someone else who's
it's exactly
been from
the
the
right
start.
thing to do because these are the people that will help to keep Firevolt going.
They're
as
our
much
people.
As
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're our people.
Yeah, they
Let's
are,
talk a
100%.
bit about the lineup for 2025. First of all, we haven't even said yet when it is.
Okay.
So when is Firevolt 2025?
Well, it's the 8th to the 10th of August, but we do have a pre-festival party on the Thursday that's now got quite a reputation for being a fun night.
Quiz night.
Quiz
Quiz
night.
night. Quiz
People
night,
take
yeah.
it way
Quiz
too
and
far.
tour.
I thought I knew my rock, but I was put in my place last year.
Yeah. And again, it's just something a little bit different, but that personal touch. We've got a few surprises this year coming up that we'll announce soon.
Yeah.
Games and different things going on. So if you want to get involved, you can. If you want to sit back, have a beer and check it out, you
And
can.
you're able to meet people as well.
Yeah,
you know,
that was the idea. That
Exactly,
was the
because
idea.
it is quite. I mean, I wouldn't say intense, but obviously when the festival's on, it is bang, bang, bang bands. There's 15-minute gap between the lower bands, 20 minutes when you get to the supports and headliners. There's that 15-20 minute to get a beer to go have a loo stop, but it is bang, 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 and the lineups are usually strong, or we believe they're strong, so you're going to want to see a lot of the bands. So the Thursday is a more relaxed, you know, pulled back affair where you get to meet people, but it has grown so much. In the first year, we had 75 people come to the Thursday night party. Last year, we were 600 or 700?
750. Wow.
750. 750 last year. And that's how much it's grown, and that was only the third edition. So the Thursday night is popular. I think it's popular because you get on site a bit earlier than anyone else, so
you
you
can
get
rest,
your tent.
you can relax and
you
get
can
your
relax
spot,
and all
can't
that.
you, and all
But
that kind of thing.
The quiz,
Yeah.
which is changing a little bit this year, going to be a
Definitely,
smart quiz.
Yeah. But I think we really felt that first year, whatever happens, we want people, if you get people talking and they meet each other, it's going to set the scene of the festival. And it so did. People are friends for life now, and it's amazing.
That's brilliant. So let's talk about the lineup.
Yeah.
Who's playing this year?
Should we do headliners first then? So Friday night
My
headliners,
boys,
which is
South of Salem,
South of
shout
Salem.
out.
And it's,
You got a soft spot for them, haven't you?
Yeah.
One of my favourite bands, South of Salem.
I think it's a
absolutely,
great story behind South of Salem, because when we did set up that first year, South of Salem were on our wish list between me and Roy and that, and we managed to get South of Salem. First year they played. They then came back and they were kind of like mid lineup, and then this year they're coming back as a headliner. And I think for us, it's good for us. They are doing really well, the boys. You know, their engagement and their kind of trajectory of what's happening with them. They are on the way. You can see it. But what they put into the stage show, how they communicate with their people, how they respect their people, their fans, their audience, how the show's got bigger, the craftsmanship. We felt, me and Bev, it was time to go for it. And we wanted to give them a headline slot. And that's because we wanted to do that. And we believe that
Well,
was the right
your
choice for our
festival.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
gone down well.
we believed in them, and I think that was the thing. I remember saying to them backstage last year, boys, you are coming back as headliners. They were like, and I'm like, no, I'm telling you. And they were like, no way. They were really, quite excited about it.
To draw a parallel with us, we're supporting grassroots music all the time. And some of the acts that you have, not that many people know, but you believe in them.
Yeah,
and you want to
totally,
push them.
100%.
You've got the vehicle to push them.
Yeah.
And this is a fabulous story because South of Salem started low down on the, early on in the weekend.
Yeah.
Now they're
they're there.
They're
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And that's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You want them to
Yeah.
succeed. Everyone needs a
course.
bit of a leg up
in
once
the
in a
fourth
while.
edition, I think
Yeah.
they were like third or
or
fourth
fourth
on
or something
in the
on.
first year,
Yeah.
and they've gone right the way through the ranks, and quite rightly.
Yeah.
They've done that themselves. It's not just about me and Bev
No,
saying
no.
it. They've done it themselves. They're what they've done and where they've managed to position themselves, and the love and the engagement they've got.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was
Let's
right.
not forget, they're great musicians.
They are
Fantastic.
phenomenal
They really are.
musicians.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they are. But I think that's the thing is we want to get behind whether the grassroots or the bands that are just starting, a little bit higher up. How can we help them? What can we do? This is not just about playing Firevolt, is it? It's not just
Well,
about
you are
playing our
doing
Christmas
something this year about
this
that,
is
aren't
what
you?
we're doing. We are.
Finally.
There's
Yeah.
some news this year,
Yeah,
right?
we have.
Yeah, we've. So, I mean, I need to thank yourself first and foremost because you're one of the sponsors for the third stage. So,
It's our pleasure.
without people like Radio Wigwam and Grand Central and Leaf Promotions, this third stage couldn't happen, and obviously ourselves. But yeah, we thought it's our fourth year this year. It's our fourth edition. And we felt it was time to try and give some grassroots bands an opportunity at playing at a slightly bigger festival than they may have done before. See how it goes, see how it works. Maybe, get some new fans. There'll be about 1,500 people there on site. So I'm sure that stage is going to have at least 200-300 in front of it. So it's a great opportunity. And the four bands you've got sound amazing. The four bands that Grand Central have come up with and Leaf Promotions amazing. And then there's ourselves. So, it's 12 great bands. Absolutely.
Yeah. On top of
two
two brilliant stages. All right,
Yeah.
so you've got three stages, and
Yeah.
you're, as you say, you're giving the respect to the youngsters coming through that need that leg up. And I can tell you now, they cannot wait
Yeah,
to
fantastic.
get in
exciting.
because they know how big Firevolt is or should be or will be, and they cannot wait because they know that the audience is going to actually be listening, paying attention, and enjoying
That's true.
it.
That's
As
true.
simple as that.
But I think that's it. We want to almost sort of, in a way, educate them, show them how it works, how it runs. It's very different being at a outdoor festival than it is being at a gig, in a smaller venue. So there's lots of other things they might need to think about, and it's all of those things that we want to support
all
them.
part of the journey, isn't it?
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, it's
We've
invaluable
gotta be there for
experience
them.
at that level,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
yeah.
And I think our community and who come to Firevolt, if they engage with them, they will take them with them. And they will then become supporters of them. That's happened for a Priory, for Thieves of Liberty, the Hot 1-2.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hot 1-2, if you bear in mind, they went on stage in the Big Top, I think, at 11:15.
11:15,
11:15, because we didn't have any slots and Bev wanted them to play.
Yeah.
And we created this one-to-watch slot for the Hot 1-2. We must have had 300 people watching them at quarter past 11 in the
11.
morning.
That's brilliant. Isn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
And so, who else is else is coming?
Yeah,
this
so
year?
sticking on the headliners, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
Saturday headliners is Reef.
Reef. Really excited about Reef.
Now, Reef
Yeah,
got
that
good
was a
old
bit of a coup, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
good old boys,
definitely,
Reef.
yeah.
Do you know, I mean, I'm a Deep Purple fan, so I've just recently seen Reef 6 or 7 times because I go to all the Deep Purple gigs, and Reef was supporting them. So put your hands up and all that.
Gary's voice. Oh, that is amazing. His
Oh,
phenomenal
yes,
voice. I love
Eric.
it. Yeah,
No,
he's
that's a
really
big
good.
name. It's a big
name. Yeah, it's a big
definitely.
name for us.
It's
It's a
big
big
for us. It's exciting. They did a video for us yesterday, a little
really?
ident, which
right.
will go out shortly. And we kind of played it. And we both went, that's Reef. And it was like really surreal because you plan these things, but then it's happening. It's there in front of you. So yeah, it's cool. Really cool.
And that's on the Saturday.
That's on a
That's
Saturday, on our new outdoor stage. They'll be on, won't they?
New
New
outdoor
outdoor stage. Big Top has
breaking news,
gone.
breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah, Big Top has
banner.
gone.
Or
Yeah,
breaking
breaking
news.
news. You can put that in the edit. The Big Top is no more. It is gone.
Big Top's gone.
Bye-bye, Big Top. As
Is
great
that
as
because
it was.
of the generator issue last year? Or was it,
Yeah, the generator's on fire. No, I think as great as the Big Top looks, it was taking up so much space. It's great if it rains. It's too hot if it's hot, so everybody's outside. Sound is kind of splashy everywhere.
It's a bit of a reflective surface for the sound. If you're an audiophile, you'll understand what I mean. It's quite splashy. So you've got cymbals coming back at you and vocals hitting the canvas behind you and then coming back at you. Like Bev said, it is great if it rains, even though we've not really had that at Firevolt, touch wood. But we've kind of outgrown it in size as well, to a degree. You know, I mean, yes, maybe some of the lower bands aren't filling it, but once you're getting up the lineup, they were filling it, and there was as many outside as there was inside.
Yeah.
I mean, for when
you were constrained by
who was it? Dare. I mean, Dare played, and it was absolutely packed, and it was 1,000. It held 1,000 people, that, and it was packed, and people were outside, even though it was a lovely night. So that was cool. But yeah, we wanted to go a bit more rock and roll. So this year we've got an outdoor stage coming in. Headliners will all finish on the outdoor stage. Sunday from Sweden we've got Eclipse.
Exciting.
Big band, to be honest. Another big band for us. A band we've tracked for a while, and a band we've been after for a couple of years. But so much has to fall into place. Them touring, the money. We are a small boutique, independently owned festival. We haven't got endless just to say do it. It has to make sense.
Cut their cloth accordingly.
It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense, and we do have to work to.
So not Deep
the
Purple
budgets.
this year, then. Stret.
I'd be amazed if there's ever a Deep Purple. What they quoted.
Imagine.
Three big bands there as headliners.
And again, I think for me, obviously we talk about the bands and everything and what we're going to do, but Stret does put it together, and I think the mixture of how he puts things together, so you've got like Rip Your Face Off, then you've got a bit of mellow, a bit of blues, rock, and it's prog. There's all sorts of different things going on, so it's a lovely blend through the weekend.
We do listen as well. I mean, we did do a survey in the first year, and we sent the survey out to all you guys, and it was amazing that 90% of you filled out the survey. But we're never doing it again because we got 2,500 bands on a list of who we should play, and it'll never But from there, I've got to be honest, people suggested the picture books. Paul Cash championed the picture books, and that came on the radar.
Sonic Whip.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So Von Hertzen brothers.
Yeah, I'm very excited about them. By the way,
again, that beautiful vibe.
Yeah.
Imagine that in the trooper stage in the barn. Yeah. It's just gonna be really special. That I think.
Yeah. So we do listen, people. We do listen.
We do.
So I can't wait for it. I mean. It's a fantastic. We had a fantastic time last year. We did the DJ, and we'll do it again.
Fantastic.
3 stages, such great, diverse quality of
100%,
rock. Friendly. Sun should be out. Of course, it will be.
Proper loo roll. Showers.
Best loo roll. Best showers.
Longest fixed bar of any festival in Europe.
Festival bar.
Yeah, longest fixed festival bar.
Yeah.
That's a bold claim.
But it's true. It's true.
On our radio station, we're claiming that for you.
It's true.
I think that's it. That's another good point to say to people about the Radio Wigwam DJs. You need to start thinking about who you'd like the guys to play, so we can start doing a playlist.
Well, that's right. Actually, in the next few weeks, we will be announcing an opportunity for people to request what they want via our website. But the most important thing is obviously for all Firevolt fans is to download the Radio Wigwam app.
100%.
Then you can listen to all the great rock shows that we have that are promoting and previewing the lineup of this year's
fantastic
Festival.
Cool.
So it's been lovely having you on, and we can't wait to do this again. Can't wait for the summer. And
not long now.
No, it's not. No. So it's the technically the 7th to the 10th.
7th is a Thursday. So the gates are open on the 7th for the pre-festival party, which you'll be there with us, Christian.
Absolutely. And where can people get tickets?
So it's only available on Gigantic. You can go to the website, which is www.firevoltfestival.co.uk, and that will take you to Gigantic. It's worth going to the website because you can have a little bit read about what's available on site.
You have playlists.
The playlist,
bands,
you can check the bands out. Because I think Christian mentioned there before, you might not know some of these bands, but if you listen to them, you will understand why they've got a slot. Since 2022, All the musicians are top class, and they're tight. They're touring bands. You know, they're signed to labels, management.
They're there for a
headline
reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are the kiddies on the block, without a doubt.
Well, we can't wait. Can't wait to see you
Exciting.
on the 7th of August.
Thank you, mate.
Get your tickets.
Yeah.